What is going on, guys? We are back with our Nighthawks Relocation Fantasy Draft franchise. Just got done in Week 18 beating up on the Seahawks. Not so much beating up. They kind of messed with us. I honestly think they drugged us before the game. That's at least the way it felt throughout. But it's going to be a bit more of a tame episode, as we're going to be looking at the stats and awards and potential upgrades that we'll have heading into the playoffs. Now, we are currently 12-5, but I think win percentage still counts for right now. So if the Cowboys were to lose, there's a good chance that they maybe lose the spot and we get the division. And like we said last week, the winner of this division is going to be the winner of a bye week, as they will be the best team in the league, which I know is crazy to think. 12-5, obviously, we had a lot of lucky games. There was maybe one unlucky loss, but like four lucky wins. Things could have changed. Obviously, we played a couple of hurt teams. We had some injuries, but for the most part, it wasn't as big as some of the other teams. But overall, we had ourselves a good season. And before you guys start punching me because I haven't advanced, let's go on and see what happens with the Cowboys. Please lose. And they win. Now, actually not the Seahawks just, even with a loss, the Seahawks still make the playoffs, and we have to play them back-to-back. Now I'm kind of glad we're doing the stats and awards, because if I don't, people are going to think I'm stupid. Well, verdicts. No, but people are going to think, you guys are going to be like, did he upload the same video twice? Hello? Obviously, it'll probably have like a wild card logo or something like that, but regardless, not the matchup we were looking for. A little bit of a shocker, kind of sleeper, where we have to go back to Seattle. It is at night, which is kind of getting me rock solid. But we have to face the team that really gave us a good run. Obviously, Kyler Murray looked great. He had a couple of mistakes that we couldn't capitalize on, but we did capitalize on one of them with Tyson Anderson. But overall, they gave us a tough challenge, and I'm a little worried about playing them again. Of course, that's not really the main focus of today's episode, though. Let's take a look at the stats and awards, as we are all kind of curious, as Curtis Gamble was like 24 yards off of 5K, which hurts, 40 touchdowns, and of course did throw a lot of picks last week, which leads to 25 interceptions on the season, 66% completion percentage, just over 500 attempts. Just under 300 yards per game with a 103.2 passer rating, which isn't bad. Was sacked 36 times, probably about average. Maybe a little different, though, as he gets the ball. We kind of get the ball off, about as quick as possible. The O-line just never gives us a chance. Of course, rushing. Gamble had a great year. Once again, maybe too many turnovers, but secret MVP, maybe? I'm just saying. Of course, Hawkins, didn't get to 1,000. Had a good season, but not a great one. Did have a couple injuries. Gibbs really didn't get used too much. It was Gamble that was kind of the whole show. Receiving, Woodley is insane. Probably the best tight end in the league, at least based on last season. Gonna be up to superstar development trade. Terrell Ferguson, that's star dev. Tutu Atwell and Sky Moore, a little underwhelming, but Tutu is the slot receiver. Sky Moore did get injured early in the season, so little, derailments from some of our other wide receivers development-wise because of injury or because of placement on the roster. But Ferguson, really good, year one for him. Came out as a rookie and dominated. Tackles, once again, throwing the ball away and getting the ball out. Really made these numbers look better than they probably should have been, to be honest. Of course, we also lost Newhouse for a game. Defensively, Tyndall, 119 tackles. Stearns and Anderson with 99. Cox at 94. And then obviously see the numbers drop quite a bit. Tackles for a loss, 26 for the 20-sack man, Brian Burns. Drake Jackson, after last week's crazy performance, got to more than double-digit. Well, kind of, 12 sacks. Jordan Davis with 11. Really had a bad second half of the season. Tyndall with 6. Maddox was double-teamed more than Jordan Davis this season. And, of course, he obviously is more of a block shedder anyways. Stearns, couple of sacks, couple of picks as well. Tariq Woolen couldn't get to double digits, but still great at 9. Tyson Anderson at 6. 5 for Booker. 3 for Stearns. 2 for Cox. 1 for Carmichael, Scott, and Tyndall. What about the forced fumbles? 4 from Ryan Burns. That man had himself a season. Recoveries, yeah, not so many recoveries, though. You can see a bunch of forces, only 2 recoveries, which is really bad. Any blocks, any safeties, any touchdowns. Treacle with 3. Anderson and Booker with 2 apiece. Kicking, Justin Tucker missing 2 field goals, which is really, really good, and missed 0 extra points. Wait. Huh? I don't remember that. I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen, of course. It also seems like the number's off, right? It said we missed 3 field goals, but it's 2. I don't know. Matt Ariza didn't really have that long of a kick season per yardage, per average, but a lot of directional punting as well. Wangwei with 2 kick return touchdowns, 1,600 yards, which I can't tell if that's more of him being good or the defense being bad. I think it's probably the second one. Now for the whole season, obviously Lamar Jackson looks pretty solid there. Brady, a lot of touchdowns, but also a lot of picks. Rodgers, decent. Once again, high picks for a lot of teams and a lot of players, so I don't feel as bad, with our rookie quarterback. Deshaun Watson with the Bears may have been MVP. Those numbers look impeccable. Obviously, there's probably not going to be a guy with more picks than us, but there were 3 guys and 3 really good names at that did get to 20 as well. So, it's not all looking down from here. Tannehill with 59% completion. So, what was that? There was like a bug that attacked me. What the? I'm not scared. Of course, the best percentage from players that technically count. Ironically enough, Dak and Tom Brady are on that list. But 66% is pretty average. Akil Glass didn't start, which is kind of, sucky for them. For him anyways. But 66%, a lot of quarterbacks had that. So, middle of the pack for accuracy, it seems. As far as passer rating goes, he was the 5th best passer based on... Oh, that's yards, damn it. But based on passer rating... he was like the 7th best quarterback, which is not bad. Yards per attempt, he was the number 1, so he aired it out more than anyone else because he was kind of forced to. He also got sacked probably about the 10th most. Once again, we talked about how he's making the numbers look better than they actually were because, he throwing away the ball and, getting rid of it quickly, running and all that noise. If he was a statue quarterback, he would be literally a statue because they would have had to kill him and, just... just mold him into a statue, I guess. But I don't know how that works. Kamara, 1,600, almost 1,700 yards, 19 touchdowns. These kind of numbers are cool and all, but I'd rather look at something like yards per carry. Gamble, the running quarterback, with 8.1, by far the most of qualifying players. Kamara, though, with 6.0, which was really nice. Jacobs, 5.8. And, kind of separating themselves from the rest as everyone else is kind of at 5. Touchdowns, 20 touchdowns for Mixon, 19. A lot of touchdowns, though, for these players. The best yards per game would be Jacobs. The most broken tackles would be James Conner. What about yards after contact? Kamara. Hawkins had himself a good year, though. He put up some numbers. The longest run of the year was Kamara at 88. Wide receivers now, of course, you see one guy separating himself from the rest. A tight end on the front page. No other tight ends came close to him, at least based on yardage. Goddard with 1,100 was the second closest. Then Andrews barely over 1,000 himself. Cole Kmet just under 1,000. But very good season from him. Obviously, Ferguson was also in the 1,000-yard category, but maybe won't go up in dev. Obviously, normal the star isn't crazy hard to get, but still, there was some lackings in there. Of course, yards per catch. The guy that probably deserved it the most was Sky Moore and Ferguson. Those two kind of went off, whereas the rest are a little bit lower than them. What about touchdowns? Most touchdowns goes to Chris Olave. Ferguson tied for number 2 with A.J. Brown. Not bad, actually. And then once again, Woodley with 10. Rack. Run after the catch, of course, goes to running back Elliott. We probably gave up a lot of that, to be honest. We didn't really do too crazy after the catch, to be honest. You can see here, where are we? Nowhere to be found. What about the longest of the season? Tim Patrick, of all people, 90 yards. Some of the highest longs are from the slowest of players. Tim Patrick, Lazard, Adams, Evans, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers probably all have either 90 or less speed. Hawkins up there with a 78-yarder. Blocking... doesn't really count, but I will say he had a really good game last week, all things considered. and then sack total, it's kind of a tough one to look at. Patrick Queen with the most tackles, sack totals. It looks like Myles Garrett is the sack king, but that's the NFC side. We are obviously in the AFC, damn it, you know what I mean. Maybe gets, some awards there. Tariq Woolen, seemingly the highest interceptions by a lot. Tucker with the most field goals made, and kind of the, third best kicker. I mean, Parker White kind of counts, but does he really? I swear if one of these two win it, at least let it be Parker White. That's all I ask. Of course, it's the opposite conference again. Not that it matters, but yards, obviously, we didn't really punt a whole lot, but we did all right. I mean, once again, we're kind of an accuracy punting team rather than just pure kick power, which is ironic because Matt Ariza should be great at that. But Nwangwu, I think that's a problem for our defense, as we gave up or had double the kick return yardage to the next team. We had 2 touchdowns. No one else even had, close to that. They had 1 each, if that. Nwangwu, not really a whole lot on the punt return, though, which also probably signifies that the defense wasn't holding anyone. We're not going to look at every team's offensive and defensive stats, but 12th for offensive, 4th for yards. But here's the kicker, probably. First for points scored. Let's see it. 23rd in points allowed, as expected, but still not 32. Lamar Jackson, I don't know what his rushing numbers were, but the MVP over Deshaun Watson. It was kind of a close one, and Gamble did get some credit, 9th overall. Let's take a look at the Offensive Player of the Year. Gamble at 6. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Brian Burns. Nice, an award win already. Woolen at 5. Rookie of the Year, of course, Gamble, a couple of other rookies who did play really well for us, close behind. And then Booker, who did have a very good year, gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quarterback, not even close. Number 8, the rushing numbers definitely helped him for the overall awards. As far as rushing, definitely not going to be on the list. Wide receivers at 5, and only 5. I forgot the tight end doesn't count, but that could be Pro Bowl. Pretty close to. O-line, absolutely not. D-line at number 1, 4, and number 9. Really good D-line, obviously, here. Tyndall at 7. And then Tariq Woolen at number 1 with Anderson at 3, Stearns at 8, and Steven Booker, the rookie, at number 10. And Tucker did win Kicker of the Year. That is awesome. We secured half the awards, which is really impressive. And I don't know if we have any upgrades. It doesn't appear. We maybe have some strategy or whatever. But I want to go in and see if we can actually see the Pro Bowls, because you actually can look before they're actually there, because it'll show up in the awards, which would be nice to see. And Pro Bowl appearance, Gamble made it. That is a bit surprising, actually. And then Ferguson's obviously a guy I'm curious about, because he had a pretty good year. Please. Wow, no Ferg in the Pro Bowl? That's a scam. Now we just have to win the Super Bowl, so then they feel stupid. If Woodley's not in the Pro Bowl, dude. If he's not, yes. Obviously, the XP's great, which is another reason why we want to be there, but nice. I don't think we're going to have any, linemen. Maybe, our center or guard or something like that. Maybe not, actually. Hawkins wouldn't have made it. Sky Moore wouldn't have made it. Maybe Jackson. He didn't really give up too much. Nope, not a single lineman, which, not really surprising, to be honest. Defensively, of course, may have 2 corners, as Woolen should obviously be there. He is 5K XP on top of it, obviously. And then Booker, not in the Pro Bowl. That hurts. Of course, Brian Burns, if he's not in the Pro Bowl, that would be a scam and a half. He is only 2,600 XP. Jordan Davis, probable Pro Bowl as well? Yes. Okay, we got some players. Drake Jackson, maybe. I don't know. This one's a little bit closer. And unfortunately, no Pro Bowl for him. Stearns, probably, right? I'd imagine Stearns would have made it. He did. What about the strong safety, Anderson? Come on. Make the safeties happy. Hell yeah, dude. We actually have a ton of Pro Bowlers. So we have to play in the Pro Bowl if we do not make the Super Bowl. Because, we have, just based off, we didn't look at every position, but we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pro Bowlers, and some of them could be starters, and even if they're not, we're usually kind of the coach. We kind of oversee some of these things. I'm just saying, It very likely could be a bunch of Nighthawks out there playing a game of Pro Bowl football. But regardless, that's kind of the future. Right now, the focus is going to be the Seahawks. And once again, on paper, this is a matchup we should like, despite the fact that we barely beat them. If we play our game a little bit cleaner, get the ball out of the hands of the receivers when they have a jump ball situation, instead of maybe going for the pick, just swat it perhaps, we should be able to make the divisional round. But once again, it's exciting because we're finally in the playoffs, and hopefully we're healthy. As you can see, a bunch of players returning. And that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys have enjoyed the series so far, which I really appreciate you watching, maybe leave a like. If you're new, maybe subscribe. If you're not, I appreciate your continued support a ton. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, which will be tomorrow, a Buffalo Bills rebuild. Kind of a long one. See ya!